What do you do when you drive 60-year-old Mopars and you bend the friggin' drive shaft in your car? Well, do you drive truck? Because, come to find out, D100 rear shaft, an early A-body with modern 904 shaft, 52 inches long. 52 inches. Anyways, here's Peggy Sue. We got some damage from the hood flipping up. This happened a long time ago. Sometime between now and the last video, which has been years. And there's still some flip front damage. Needs taken care of, but we got aprons in her. Subframes are connected. Everything's Dodge pickup. This fender wasn't as nice, so I recently put this fender on, got the chrome back on it. I think we're gonna go all black. Wanting to take the fender wells out of the old fenders and put them back here for some bigger tires. And we got a beer keg fuel cell and a dipstick. And this dipstick is literally just a stick. I got it marked per gallons. So, other than that, so we're gonna take the drive shaft out of that, switch the yokes on them, take the bent one out of this, and put it into that because that needs carrier bearing and it's starting to knock. Built too much oil pressure in that motor. And then, yeah, I'm going to scab seat belts out of that for this because these ones are rusty, and I'll start driving my Barracuda every day. Oh, and the wiper arms. I got to steal the wiper blades off the truck. I sure do hate being broke. Being broke sucks. But once I get the car up and running, then I should get better gas mileage, and because all that extra oil pressure in that truck just eats up the fuel. It's a bad idea. 5,000 RPM small block Mopar, 50 pounds, you're good. Not 100. It's bad. Very, very bad. I think I eat up the main bearings. But it is what it is. But for right now, I think I'm going to whack this out. Try to leave as much metal there as I can. I'm going to seal off the vent, because if I want fresh air in there, I'll just open a window, because the water comes in there, runs into the vents there, and rusts out the floors in a Mopar, and I'm not dealing with that. I'm going to take that out. It's only going to recirculate cabin air. I got some holes up here I'm going to try and patch. I might have to patch those inside the car, because I don't want to pull the motor out. Again. So, that's what I'm doing today. I'll check in every now and then. So here we are. I removed the hood. Get access. Cut out all the damage. Way around here, took the lips off. Worked that dent. Worked this area here. Found a crack in the lead. Doesn't go to the metal. Let's see. So that'll be more filler than I want, but it is what it is. On this side, took a washer and backed up that spot. Welded up my two little holes. Made sure that was a crack in the lead. Fixed the worst part of the cowl. Put this back how it's supposed to be. Now I gotta plug that guy, because I don't want fresh air from the engine compartment coming in the cabin. Fire will do that too. That's not safe. The whole goal of this was to get the air pressure to come out up here once I make a scoop, because I might have to go with a forward facing scoop with the height of the front of the air cleaner as opposed to the rear. But it could be the air cleaner. That one's junk. So that's where we're at. So now we're gonna mount the hood and make sure the cow's fitting nice and start making the hood scoop. I'm gonna cut up what appears to be a decent set of fenders, but they're not, so don't panic. They're rusty as fuck. That one over there, nice and straight, it's got a rusty as fuck spot, so we'll have to fix that. And I'm gonna have to edit that out. So hopefully there's a bleep there. Have a good day. Check back in a minute. So as I said previously, we were cutting that out. That's the plate. They're just tacked in there. Just enough to hold some seam sealer. There's the inside of the hood scoop. You can see I had to scab some stuff together. And because I don't like the metal, I didn't finish it. The front of it came out horrible. Horrible. Not happy with it at all. It's got that little wave in it. That really makes me mad. But, we went from 15 on the highway to 18 on the highway, or 25 if we run the 15% alcohol, because I got the carburetor overjetted like an idiot. Also on that trip, we found some debris in the fuel tank there, and I should have videotaped that, but I didn't. Not very good at that. So it's been about 2.5 weeks since I started making this video. Some things came up. I had to go get some family members, which meant the old Barracuda had to go on some road trips. And so the hood scoop, the ventilation block offs, and the drive shaft were all done off camera. I screwed that up. I messed it up big time. I asked my uncle to help me, so maybe I could take some time to film, and asking for help doesn't work. So, but when we went to go get the family member, I told everybody, we're in an old car, we don't need to go down dirt roads. Dirt roads and old cars are not friends. And come across this one intersection. They're like, oh, you need to go left, you need to go left. And I go left, and about 50 feet later, we drop down in the dirt. I looked over at everybody and I was like, I'm not walking and I'm not freezing. And we went tootling on. Well, we get to this town in northern Colorado, and coming into town there's this big old bump, and I hit this big old bump hard because a 50-year-old car, you know. I'm not gonna say they have the best headlights, but they have headlights, and they're not very bright. You're not really gonna see what's on the other side of a bump. Well, it was a big bump, and broke this little plug here. I broke this plug here off the starter, and inside these Mopar starters is a solid copper wire for the solenoid. So I pulled the solenoid out, took it all apart, cleaned it up the best I could. Christmas morning. Cleaned it all up, soldered it back together. Didn't have anything to get grease off of it with. I was like, well, it'll make it a little while. Yeah. 3 days. A whopping 3 days. That was genius. So I'm stealing the starter off the truck. I'm gonna put it in the car, because it's New Year's Eve. And, well, I'm gonna get the car running. I'm gonna get some degreaser, clean that one all up, and see if I can't fix it. And if not, I'll go to the junkyard and find a junk one and steal the solenoid off of it. Should work okay. Probably cost like $5, no big deal. In the afternoon, maybe. I have trouble finding it, but I doubt it, because 5 minutes after I walked in the junkyard, I walked out with these two each time, so it's all good. So I guess I'll turn this thing around and show you how bad the hood scoop came out. Start a new job this month, so I'm gonna take some of that money and buy some new materials and redo the center of this thing. So here we go. So as I said previously, we were cutting that out. That's the plate. They're just tacked in there. Just enough to hold some seam sealer. There's the inside of the hood scoop. You can see I had to scab some stuff together. And because I don't like the metal, I didn't finish it. The front of it came out horrible. Horrible. Not happy with it at all. It's got that little wave in it. That really makes me mad. But we went from 15 on the highway to 18 on the highway, or 25 if we run the 15% alcohol, because I got the carburetor overjetted like an idiot. Also on that trip, we found some debris in the fuel tank there, and I should have videotaped that, but I didn't. Not very good at that. The fuel tank has an elbow coming out of a beer keg. The beer keg is secured in the bottom of the spare tire well, because 13-inch spare isn't gonna work for 28-inch tall 14 and 26-inch tall front tires. I think the car came with 24-inch tall tires, so spare tire well is unnecessary. Just put them under the glass. Works great for keeping black marks off the carpet. Definitely recommended. Yeah. So, but anyways, we had to pull the fitting out of the gas tank and rework that, because it's a 1936 Coors beer keg. Drilled it out a little bit bigger and found a 308 shell that, I think it's at least 7/16. Cut the top off of it, pressed it down into the fitting, drilled a bunch of holes, and debris or not, she's gonna get fuel. She's gonna get every last drop. Kegs have ridges in them. If you got more water in your fuel than it takes to fill that ridge, you need to drain that tank anyway. So, I think it'll work well. Hasn't failed me yet. At that time. So, I'm gonna pull this starter out and show you my stupidry. Try and get this video out. Hopefully, come February, there will start being a steady stream of progress on this car. I think May 14th is the season opener for the race I want to run. And all I need is a factory working car. I don't expect to break the 1099s, so I might be able to get down to an 11.5 if I'm lucky. Not much. My money's on a 14.0 at best, and that's if I know how to tune. I don't. Runs pretty good though. No, I don't. Tries. Very hard. No, that's a lie too. So I'm gonna pull this starter out too. So this is the problem with this. A little standoff there is busted. And there's a little wire down in here. It comes out of that standoff, runs all the way up to the front of here, energizes the coil, and kicks the Bendix. Well, because that's broke. The wire broke. I soldered the wire back together. Couldn't glue that back together. So we set this one off to the side. It's for the truck. From now on. And it's always acted funny, I'm sure. Maybe it was already broke when I bought it. I don't know. It worked right for a year. So that's that. And we're gonna take this slimy guy right here. All men like them slimy. The slimier the better. And old Peggy Sue, the bad news Barracuda, will be able to start without embarrassing me in front of all the hot moms at the grocery store. Single dads. Single dads like hot moms. Because to be a hot mom, you gotta be a good mom. You don't gotta be a good mom, or you don't gotta be hot to be a good mom. But if you're a good mom, you're hot, no matter what you look like. Don't let anybody look down on you. Don't let anybody talk down to you. Good moms, fast cars, happy children, that's what makes a man smile. No matter how much trouble he has to go through to get it. So, keep that in mind. And guys, if you don't like moms, you're stupid. Because you're going to wind up making her one anyway. So just get used to it. Well, let's fire this old turkey up. We'll see what we can do here. Alright, let's see here. Well, we don't have fuel pump, so more than likely we don't have ignition. Nope. We don't need fuel pump. Got us some smoking going on over here. That's weird. Smells like burning exhaust gases. Yep, greasy handprints probably. And the tach is stuck on 4-cylinder because when I worked on it over the bump, that's 4-cylinder there. So that's about right. These Japanese tacks are not the best. Matter of fact, I actually think it's Chinese. Cool. Now that that's done, we can go do you know, New Year's Eve stuff. Like beer and booze and food. Wow. Well, since it's New Year's Eve, I'd say don't drink and drive, but y'all ain't gonna see this until tomorrow when you're hungover anyway, so yeah. That's it for Peggy Sue for now. When I get some materials, I'll start making some more videos, because we gotta finish converting it to dual pot master cylinder. We gotta, I think we're gonna put the 370s back in it, but I'm gonna have a spool rather than an open. But yeah, Caltrax bars and sliders, and maybe a line lock. Who knows? Stuff happens. I'm going to put the line lock on the back though, so I can turn the brakes off for the back for the burnout rather than locking the brakes in the front, because it's an automatic car. You don't need to lock the front brakes for an automatic. It's stupid. We don't like being stupid. I do a lot of stupid. Dragging this car out of the field 2 years ago, scrounging it back together with zero money, zero materials, and a bunch of old broken parts was stupid. But I'm glad, because it's going to pay off. And Dad's first car, still tootling down the road. Like 50, a long time after it was originally manufactured. And so far, with all original parts. You know, there's not one aftermarket part other than the carb spacer on this entire car. Oh, and the air cleaner. You know, it's aftermarket. Everything else is directly replaceable for a, you know, 74 to 94 Dodge Ram pickup. Everything. They say you can't put pickup motor mounts in a Mopar, but if you want solid ones, guys will give them to you, because they gotta throw them away. They ain't got a use for them. They ripped that motor out of that truck for their old Duster. Use it. Throw them rubbers aside. Make a solid trans mount. Stop laying your alternator on the fender well. It sucks. Have a good day, guys. Happy New Year. 2022 is gonna be awesome. Keep the bad people away, the good people close. The fun light, the hard hitting, and then tires are rolling.